I keep seeing the same problems in all the Google ad accounts I look at, all the landing pages I look at. So here's my advice on kind of things you should be implementing. Keep seeing the same problems, the same mistakes on Google ad accounts, landing pages, burning lots of cash, same sort of questions. Well, we've burnt $1,000, we didn't get anything, Google ads don't work, you know, what's going on? What are we doing wrong? And it's the same problems. So just first of all, understand that these days Google is really aggressive on making money, more than ever before. So everything, all of the settings that are being implemented right now in the last year, forever, these call centers of people that call you and try to sell you, pressing certain buttons that get you more leads, right? You have to understand that you're now working really heavily against a system that is attempting to recover their losses against Microsoft and AI and a whole bunch of stuff. So initially in the Google Ads setup, there's a lot of buttons that need to be unticked. And essentially each of these buttons allows Google to take your credit card, take payment for broadened variety of key terms, visibilities, partner sites, whole bunch of shit. Like I think there's a default setting that's still ticked on all setup accounts where it shows your ad to people that are interested in your space. So if you're running an ad in Sydney and someone is in Melbourne, but they're interested or they've shown some sort of an algorithmic interest in your space, your ad is going to show up. So that's the first thing I notice is all of the auto suggestions are ticked. Google does not have your best interest in mind. Google wants to A, profit, and B, show you fluffy things that make you feel like you're succeeding, right? Now, Google ads definitely work, but what you're going to instantly experience is agencies like mine that spend hundreds and thousands of dollars a month on Google ads are going to be... Now, I'm saying these things not to turn you off Google ads. Google ads definitely work, but it's just about setting the right expectations. Even with a perfectly set up Google ad account that is mature, that is 3-4 months into the campaign, I'm setting the same expectations with clients. It is going to be really expensive, really hard, and leads may not be consistent for a while. They might not be at a profitable, positively geared rate, but a lot of things in business initially are not positively geared. So is it worth still running the Google ad? If there is a desirable key term that gets searched, in this case it was a condition of a child's foot and heel pain and things like that, so he's definitely getting searched. So yes, it's very sensible to run it, and it will work. It's just a matter of going through the next areas. So just have this understanding that you've got agencies that have been bidding and spending big money on these keywords for potentially years. So they've got their negative keywords sorted, they've got their landing pages sorted that convert, they've got so much going on that makes their ad appear for the exact desirable term and shows those users the exact thing they're looking for, okay? So when your DIY campaign generally sets up, these are the sorts of things that will instantly drain your budget. It's throwing in a whole bunch of key terms that you think you want. Like, for example, just that key term alone, yes, it's the condition that you treat, but just the term alone has, thousands of search hits, and it's an informational term. It's mostly people search it to understand what is this condition. So understand this. So the intent of that user is, I've heard of this, I don't know what it is. Now that might be a uni student, that might be someone in the medical profession that is just in a side profession that's trying to understand this condition. It might be a GP. So a huge variety of mixed bag results you're going to get by running an ad for that term. So instantly you think, oh yeah, I want to show up for that term. But the way to look at it is, what are the terms we don't want to show up for, and work backwards. For example, if your term gets, condition plus treatment, bang, gun for that, because someone's already understood that I have this problem and now I'm looking for treatment, and hopefully they're searching within your targeted area. Hopefully your ad is not showing up anywhere else. I even negative out whole countries. I negative out whole states because I just don't trust Google. I've caught them out many, many times. No matter what buttons we click, they just go and auto-click some other shit. So keywords, back to keywords before I get sidetracked. Just run exact match keywords. I rarely run, no, I don't run broad match, ever, never ran those. You shouldn't run them. Quotation, if you're kicking off the campaign, sure, we'll throw some of those in. Now, whatever the key term that you're running the ad for example, term plus treatment, show them an ad that is exactly those key terms. You know, we provide such and such treatment for such and such condition in such and such suburb or Melbourne. So if someone's looking to find out what this thing is, they will not click on your ad, not waste your budget, because they're like, okay, no, this is actually to book in with a specialist to get this thing. So hopefully it'll weed out those clicks. So I logged into I had a look at this ad account and it just had one ad running. You can't do that. You have to have 6 or 7 variations of that ad in that one ad group. So if I would split them up, I'd have informational, what is the condition? That could be a separate landing page altogether, so people early on, but I wouldn't waste budget on those key terms because we only have a limited budget anyway. There's enough search volume for treatment key terms, just run an ad on those. Look, early on in the campaign, you can run the ad with quotation marks and see where Google actually takes your budget, so be prepared to burn some cash and not get any results. But you'll actually see what people are, in the search term section, what they're actually, there's search terms, which is what they searched, and then there's search keywords, which is where we want to show up for, and then Google shows up where they actually took the budget. Now, they've been trying to hide this for a while, and I reckon any month now, that section's actually just going to fully disappear. Keeping an eye on that, and negative out key terms that strictly do not matter. So you do not want Google to spend your money on free this or how to learn about this or how to become this, right? Then on the other hand, when you do find that there is a trend of keywords that do matter that you just had no idea about, you potentially make its own ad group. Now, okay, I'm gonna segue because I don't want this to drag on. The landing page was rubbish. It had barely any trust signals. Yes, it had Google reviews on it, but first of all, Google AdWords algorithm looks for the H1 and H2 supporting titles to really quickly understand if we send a user to this page, is there trustworthy content relevant to what the user is searching? So they're looking for the H1 title, and does the H1 title include that word? Then that word needs to be in the paragraph. So you want to make it clear to the Google that if they send a user to that page, that there's content there that is relevant to them. And the dumb algorithm just looks at titles at the moment, initially, right? And then it sends users to that page, and then it watches how the user engages. If the user scrolls down, reads further, watches a video, inquires, right? So if you run an ad on, you're trying to book them in for the treatment, but they're searching for the information. They click on your ad expecting information about the condition, whatever, and they don't get what they're looking for. They're going to back out. Google is going to, what's the opposite of reward? Punish your ad by charging you more per click because your ad is clearly giving not a good experience. So in other words, if you're going to bid on the key term plus treatment, the SERP should show up, should say key term plus treatment. The H1, the SEO title, the meta description should have that text. And then obviously mix it in. We help children get back on their feet, fixing this particular condition with their heels or whatnot. So it's a blend of things for the robot, and it's things for the parent to book their child in. Right, then instant comments where, well, if someone inquires, how do you know this lead came from this ad? You don't have a unique phone number. You don't have a unique booking form. when I click the booking button, it just directed me to the booking button below. And then I click on that booking button below and it redirected me to a whole new site, which is the booking platform. And I get on this landing page full of medical professionals and I'm like, the fuck do I do now? So a parent, it's like, it's too much friction. Sure, some might inquire and they might go through the booking, but if they do, you don't know if that user came from Google, if they came from word of mouth. There's no attribution. So without me talking about medical CRMs and things like that, there are ways you can connect them and attribution and stuff like that. I'd keep it simple. I'd just have a landing page, contact form, very basic form, minimum questions, right? If they've Googled this term, they're looking for the condition, you want to chat to them. They can call, they inquire, you give them a buzz. That's the first few months of the campaign should be like that before you understand, okay, we have demand, here's how we make the booking process simpler and we can attribute success to it. Hopefully that helps.